Currency Talk. Secrets of exchange and value.
Hey Lina, I've been reading a lot about currencies and the global economy lately. Have you ever wondered how currency exchange really works?
Lina, hi Tom. Yes, currency exchange is a fascinating topic. The basic idea is that you trade your country's currency for another country's currency, and the value you get depends on the exchange rate.
Tom. Exactly, the rates change constantly. Sometimes my local currency is strong, and other times it weakens. But I'm not sure why that happens exactly. How does the economy impact exchange rates?
Lina, well, the economy plays a huge role. If a country has a strong and stable economy, its currency is usually stronger. People trust the economy and are more willing to invest in that country, which increases demand for its currency.
Tom. So, countries with strong economies tend to have stronger currencies. But what about inflation? I've heard that it also affects currencies.
Lina, yes, inflation has a big impact. Inflation is when the general price level of goods and services rises over time. If a country has high inflation, the purchasing power of its currency decreases. In other words, money doesn't buy as much as it did before, and that causes the currency to weaken.
Tom. So, if a country has high inflation, its currency loses value compared to other currencies.
Lina, exactly. The opposite is true when inflation is low. Countries with lower inflation tend to have stronger currencies. Investors prefer stable economies, and low inflation signals that the economy is under control.
Tom. What about interest rates? I've heard they play a big role in determining currency values.
Lina, yes, interest rates are crucial. When a country raises interest rates, it makes its investments more attractive to foreign investors. This increases demand for the local currency because investors need that currency to buy bonds or other investments. As a result, the currency strengthens.
Tom. So raising interest rates can lead to a stronger currency because of increased foreign investments.
Lina, exactly. And if a country lowers its interest rates, it might discourage foreign investment because the returns on investments become less attractive. This can lead to a weaker currency.
Tom. That's really interesting. But I've also heard that political events can affect exchange rates. Is that true?
Lina, yes, politics plays a big role. Political instability, like elections, changes in government, or even tensions between countries, can create uncertainty. Investors tend to avoid unstable environments, which can weaken a country's currency. For example, if there's a risk of a recession due to political issues, the currency might weaken.
Tom. That makes sense. I've also noticed that exchange rates can vary a lot depending on where I exchange my money. Is it better to exchange currency at a bank or a currency exchange service?
Lina, great question. Banks usually offer lower fees, but their exchange rates might not be the best. On the other hand, currency exchange booths in airports or tourist areas tend to have higher fees and less favorable rates. It's a good idea to compare rates beforehand or even use a currency exchange app to check live rates.
Tom. I've also heard about the term forex or foreign exchange. Is that the same thing as currency exchange?
Lina, yes, forex is the global marketplace for buying and selling currencies. It's the largest financial market in the world, with trillions of dollars exchanged every day. The rates are determined by supply and demand, just like any other market.
Tom. Wow, I didn't realize Forex was that huge. So, when I travel, should I exchange my money in advance or wait until I get to my destination?
Lina, it depends. If you're traveling to a country with a very volatile currency, it might be better to exchange your money in advance to lock in a good rate. But for most countries, you can wait and exchange money at a local bank or ATM. Just be aware of any fees or service charges that might apply.
Tom, and what about using credit cards abroad? I've heard they're a good option because they usually offer better exchange rates.
Lina, that's right. Many credit cards offer competitive exchange rates because they usually use the interbank exchange rate, which is the rate banks offer each other. However, you should always check if your card has foreign transaction fees, as some banks charge a small percentage for purchases abroad. Lina, yeah, it's definitely more complex than it seems at first. But once you understand how factors like inflation, interest rates, and political stability affect currencies, it gets easier to make smarter decisions when exchanging money or even investing.
Tom, good to know. It seems like there's a lot to think about when it comes to currency exchange and global economics. Thanks so much for all the great information, Lina.
Lina, you're welcome, Tom. I'm glad I could help.
Currency. The money system used by a specific country, such as the US dollar or the euro. Exchange rate. The rate at which one currency is exchanged for another. Inflation. The general increase in prices over time, which reduces the purchasing power of a currency. Purchasing power. The amount of goods or services that can be bought with a certain amount of money. Inflation decreases purchasing power. Interest rates. The percentage charged by a bank on loans or paid on deposits. They affect the strength of a currency. Foreign exchange. The global marketplace for buying and selling currencies. Exchange rates are determined by supply and demand in this market. Foreign transaction fees. Fees that banks or companies charge on transactions made across borders. Political stability. The stability in a country's government and politics, which affects the value of its currency. Supply and demand. A fundamental economic concept where an increase in supply lowers the currency's value, while higher demand raises its value. Recession. A significant decline in economic activity, which can lead to a weakening of the currency. Local currency. The currency used within a specific country. Investment. The process of allocating money with the expectation of a future return, such as buying stocks or bonds. Exchange rate. The rate at which one currency is exchanged for another. Currency exchange service. Institutions or locations that offer services to exchange one currency